40th post-cabinet press briefing. Zimbabwe's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and report on the procurement and rollout of vaccines was our first report. Cabinet received an update on the country's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the procurement and rollout of vaccines, and this report was presented by the Vice President, Honorable Dr. CGDN Chiwenga, as Chairman of the Ministers' National COVID Committee. The nation is advised that as of 22nd November 2021, which is yesterday, Zimbabwe's cumulative COVID-19 cases stood at 133,674, with 128,465 recoveries and 4,699 deaths. The recovery rate was at 96%, with 510 active cases being recorded in the whole country. The overall national number of new cases decreased slightly during the week under review, with 209 cases recorded compared to 251 the previous week. This represents a 17% decrease in the number of reported cases. Regarding case management, infection prevention and control, the number of people in need of hospitalization for COVID-19 decreased, with the country's bed occupancy rate decreasing from 1.2% to the previous week of 0.9% this week. On the national vaccination program, as of 22nd November 2021, a total of 3,680,636 first doses had been administered, with 2,752,352 people having received their second dose. The Ministry of Health and Child Care is collaborating with the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education on the vaccination blitz of the 16 to 17-year age group in schools. Cabinet wishes to report that the inclusion of this age group has increased the target population. It is pleasing to note that in actual numbers, the cumulative number of vaccines administered during the reporting week increased to from last week. Regarding preparations for the safe administration of 2021 Zimbabwe School Examination Council, ZIMSEC examinations, the nation is advised that the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education is currently monitoring and strengthening COVID-19 compliance in preparation for the 2021 ZIMSEC examinations. The same collaboration between the education and health sectors, which resulted in safe and successful 2020 schools examination processes, is expected to deliver the same desired outcome. The nation is also advised that 2021 is the first year that the ZIMSEC is incorporating continuous assessment of learning area, CALA, and this is marks into the final result for the grade 7, O and A-level examinations. In order to ensure that the continuous assessments were done in compliance with COVID-19 regulations, and to also ensure that the credibility of the ZIMSEC examination system remains intact, senior management were all out in full force, moderating and ensuring that completion of continuous assessment of learning area activities is done by the end of November 2021. Then we moved on to the update on the Kimberley process scheme. Cabinet adopted the update on the Kimberley process scheme as presented by the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando. Government is pleased to formally announce that Zimbabwe was elected Vice Chair of the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, KEPCS, for 2022 at the last plenary meeting held in Moscow from the 8th to the 12th November 2021. By practice of the Kimberley process, this means that the country will automatically take over the chair of the KPCS in 2023. The Kimberley Process Certification Scheme is the core of the Kimberley process, which is a multilateral trade regime established in 2003 by the United Nations General Council to prevent the flow of conflict diamonds. Under the KPCS, member states implement safeguards against shipment of rough diamonds, and they also certify the diamonds as conflict-free. The KPCS works as a tripartite body with current setup having A, the industry, which is represented by the World Diamond Council, then the Civil Society Coalition, then 3 governments. Some pertinent matters to note on Zimbabwe's assumption of vice chair of the KPCS includes the following. 1. Zimbabwe will immediately start preparations to take over the chair and run the secretariat in 2023. 2. Preparations will also commence for the hosting of the 2 annual meetings of the KPCS in 2023, namely the intersessional and plenary. Then 3, establishment of a skeleton secretariat will be done to start learning from other countries in hosting the chairmanship and the secretariat. Then 4, cognizant that Zimbabwe will take over the chair in the year, the KPCS holds its review cycle preparations in that regard, and also this will commence as quickly as possible. On a related matter, Cabinet is delighted to further announce that Zimbabwe was nominated as incoming chair of the African Diamond Producers Association, ADPA, for 2022. As the ADPA chair, Zimbabwe will carry out the following mandate. 1, ensuring that African diamond producers present a united voice on the international diamond scene on matters affecting them. Then 2, promoting cooperation and information sharing amongst ADBA member states. Then 3, formulating strategies to improve the African diamond industry. And finally 4, engaging African countries who are not members of ADBA. The results of the elections are an endorsement of Zimbabwe's engagement and re-engagement drive with all nations of the world. The Zimbabwe's Open for Business mantra has resulted in increased respect for the country. Zimbabwe is currently a member of all the working groups and committees, with the exception of the Committee on Rules and Procedures. This shows that it has reinforced Zimbabwe's profile and respect. Then Cabinet received a report on the State Party report under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambe Ziyambe, presented Zimbabwe's combined 2nd to the 11th periodic report under the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, and this was approved by Cabinet. Government wishes to inform the public that this report outlines the legislative, administrative, judicial, and other measures adopted by the country to implement the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights since submission of the initial report in 1998. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights comprises 27 articles which provide for substantive rights and freedoms. Extensive consultations with various stakeholders, including civil society organizations, were undertaken in compiling the report covering those 27 articles. Highlights of developments that have taken place since the initial report include the following. 1, that Zimbabwe adopted a new constitution in 2013, which provides for an expanded Bill of Rights, which ensures that citizens enjoy their civil and political rights without hindrance. Then 2, that Zimbabwe has allowed its people to determine for themselves the political dispensation of their choice through holding elections at regular intervals as and when they fall due, since independence in 1980. And then on equality and non-discrimination, the country established the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission and the Zimbabwe Gender Commission to safeguard citizens' rights. On the equal right of men and women to the enjoyment of civil and political rights, constitutional stipulations provide for the reservation of women quotas in parliament and in commissions, while balanced gender representation is also stipulated in acts of parliament. For example, in 2018, there were 28 women and 30 men Superior Court judges, while in 2020, there were 31 women and 39 men. In 2018, there were 94 women magistrates, and 156 men. While in 2020, there were 133 women and 96 men. The freedom of thought, conscience, and the religion is enshrined in Section 61 of the Constitution, and people are free to exercise a religion of their choice, and religious groups can operate without any form of registration. And then on the freedom of expression, constitutional and legislative measures are in place to ensure protection of the right, such as the Broadcasting Services Act, with a number of private newspapers, radio, and television stations having been licensed. Then regarding the rights of children, in addition to the constitutional and legislative measures in place, the administrative measures implemented include decentralization of the Registrar General's offices to ensure the issuance of documents, the establishment of the victim-friendly court to protect vulnerable witness children, and also the basic education assistance model in the education area. And finally, pertaining to the right to participate in public affairs, to voting, and to having equal access to service in an independent electoral authority, Zimbabwe, for example, the Zimbabwe Elections Commission is in place. Measures are stipulated and have been taken to ensure security of ballot boxes and vote counting processes. Election petitions have been fully addressed, and the delimitation of constituencies undertaken in terms of the Constitution and Electoral Act. In summary, the report shows that Zimbabwe has made great strides in ensuring the enjoyment of civil and political rights by citizens. As a nation, the country remains fully committed to the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and ensuring that set targets under the relevant articles are achieved. Then, Cabinet received reports on the smart agriculture and health with digitization programs. Cabinet considered and adopted reports on the smart agriculture programs and the smart health program, and as presented by the Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Jenfan Muswere. The two programs fall under the Smart Zimbabwe Master Plan, under which the country is pursuing the Vision 2030 goal of a digital economy. On the Smart Agriculture Program, Cabinet appreciates that in order to fully realize Zimbabwe's immense agricultural production potential, there is need to increase yield, quality, and agro-value chain efficiencies through innovation based on digital technologies. Information communication technologies, ICTs, including sensor systems, internet connectivity, and artificial intelligence, will enable agricultural data to be collected timelessly and informed decisions to be made. In this regard, government is currently developing the Agriculture Information Management System, AIMS, to monitor and manage agricultural activities. In 2021, a budget of 200 million Zimbabwe dollars was provided to support the ICT-related requirements of the AIMS project, including provision of gadgets and internet connectivity to all of the country's agricultural institutions. The key components of the Agriculture Information Management System include the following. 1. Assessment of crop traits, which provides an early warning system to avert agricultural disasters and the associated low productivity. Then 2. Land Information Management System to record and analyze agricultural land use and allocation. 3. Water information systems to enable efficient management of water resources, with all water bodies having been already mapped. Then 4. Input supply, comprising automated inputs and output management, land soil fertility mapping by remote sensing mobile apps. And 5. On livestock, on farm, post-harvest, agro-processing, and marketing and consumption information management systems. Implementation of the Agricultural Information Management System has the following positive impacts. Remote interaction between farm owners, managers, and workers in real time. That's number 1. Number 2, facilitating access to land and security of tenure. Then number 3, increased access to affordable agriculture financing. 4, promoting effective agriculture knowledge, technology and innovation systems. 5, lowering costs of production. 6, improved access to agricultural information. And 7, increased income through reduced post-harvest losses and direct connection to agro value chains. Then moving on to the Smart Health digitization program, Cabinet notes that the need for deployment of ICTs in delivering health services has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Smart health initiatives such as telemedicine have proved to be very effective in overcoming barriers to healthcare and timely provision of services. Zimbabwe has therefore embarked on an initiative to ensure that all facilities are connected countrywide. A telemedicine virtual system is also being rolled out. Government wishes to advise that a pilot telemedicine project valued at US $357,632 is being implemented in partnership with ITU, International Telecommunications Union. This pilot study entails the use of ICTs to facilitate the provision of clinical health care using real-time two-way communication between physicians and patients at remote rural centers. A total of 15 health centers were equipped with state-of-the-art transportable examination stations, tests, comprising high-resolution autofocus examination cameras, stethoscopes, a total vital signs test device, a laptop, ultrasound scan devices, electrocardiography, ECG services, and blood pressure cuffs. All these 15 centers are linked to Parrenyatwa Referral Hospital, allowing for sharing of patient data and consultations with other referral healthcare institutions. It should be noted that the telemedicine solution is fully integrated to the Impilo Virtual Health System, which was recently launched by the Ministry of Health and Childcare. The Smart Health program will result in A, improved health service delivery and efficiencies, then B, improved health surveillance, C, improved health system and records management, then D, improved health education and clinical decision making, and E, support for behavioral changes related to public health priorities and disease management. Furthermore, the program will have the following benefits, that is A, offering treatment to patients in the comfort of their homes, B, confidentiality of medical information, C, reduction in traveling costs to health facilities, D, high responsiveness to medical emergencies, E, reduced referral consultation fees and mortality rates. The Smart Health system will be able to be opened to similar international health systems when there is need. The nation is advised that scoping and development work has already started and should be completed during the National Development Strategy 1 period. Then Cabinet received a report on the World Children's Day commemorations and UNICEF's 75th anniversary celebrations. Cabinet received and noted the report on the World Children's Day commemorations and UNICEF's 75th anniversary celebrations at Kazungula Bridge in Kasane, that's in Botswana, on 20 November 2021, as presented by the Minister of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, Honorable Dr. Kirsty Coventry. As part of the commemorations, in his capacity as the SADC Global Leader for Generation Unlimited, His Excellency Dr. Masisi, President of Botswana, in collaboration with UNICEF, hosted children and young people from Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Generation Unlimited is an initiative which seeks to have every child and young person in the ages of 10 to 24 years in quality education, training, or gainful employment at the appropriate age by 2030. This year's annual World Children's Day was held under the theme, and I quote, "Reimagining the Future," unquote. This represents a new initiative that seeks to give children and young people the space to engage in defining the vision they want for their future and future generations. Children participated in discussions with their presidents, about the issues that matter most to them, including climate change, gender equality, disability and inclusion, and also access to education in the COVID-19 pandemic area. His Excellency the President, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, implored children to be disciplined and also be hardworking, respectful, and also abstain from drugs and wayward behavior if they are to be competitive in a globalized world. The President highlighted that the Second Republic had introduced several interventions that have improved the lives of children, including, among others, the Women's Bank, a Youth Empowerment Bank, and a desk for youth at every ministry. Government notes that this event was historical in that this is the first time ever that 4 heads of state have come together to see